I kindly request each one of you to concentrate to the Divine Mother. Mantras of the Mother. 24:4:35. Sri Ramakrishna has said, "The eternal is seen when the mind is at rest. When the sea of the mind is troubled by the winds of desires, it cannot reflect the eternal, and all divine vision is impossible." April 22nd. Let the divine consciousness be the leading power in your life. With my blessings, Mother. 23rd April. The best way to express one's gratitude to the divine is to feel simply happy. With my blessings, Mother. Prayers and meditations. April 23rd, 1914. All rules have vanished. The regularity of the discipline is gone. All effort has ceased. Not by my own will, nor, I believe, through negligence, but because circumstances are working together to bring this about. It seems that this inner will, always alert like a steersman holding the rudder, has evaporated or fallen asleep, and my being is only something peacefully surrendered which lets itself be carried along by the stream. Till now, it seems to me, the course has always been in a straight line, and I would keep the hope that it is Thou, O Lord, who guidest the stream. But surely, if I have erred at times through too great a rigidity, a lack of suppleness and spontaneity, it could very well be that now I err through the opposite excess. I have come to accept peacefully the state I am in, and to tell myself that thou wilt bestow upon me the true consciousness, the absolute consciousness when thou thinkest it best. I look at all this changing world as a game unfolding itself, and I take part in this game with the same energy and conviction with which I would if I believed it real and important. All this is very new, but what is certain is that never before were my mind and heart in so complete a repose. What will come out of that, I do not know, but I trust in Thee, O Lord. Thou knowest the best way of using and developing Thy instrument. From Conversations, 30th May 1923, A.B. Purani. Sri Aurobindo's Dream. Secret of Earth Nature. Sri Aurobindo. Some dreams have got meaning down to their very details. I saw one yesterday. There was a scientist and a magician. Both of them wanted to rescue a girl from alien enemies. The magician was the psychic and mental man who knows the truth but does not know concretization of the same. He has the grasp of the spirit but not of the process and its details. The scientist and the magician tried to save the girl. The magician failed. Then the scientist tried. He found himself baffled by the opponents as they thus use the hostile vital powers, were not struck down by the blows of the sword or of anything. The opponents were going to a king's capital. Then they fled and the girl was taken away. The scientist was a geologist who had made the discovery that the strata of the earth must be measured from the top and not from the bottom. When the enemies fled, they left their things behind and did not like to go into the capital wounded. The scientist then found a big book on geology, half as big as this room, among the things left behind. And he found the girl just between the cover and the pages. The secret of the earth, the physical nature, was thus symbolically given. Students' prayer. Make of us the hero warriors we aspire to become. May we fight successfully the great battle of the future that is to be born, against the past that seeks to endure, so that new things may manifest and we may be ready to receive them. The mother on herself. There are two things that should not be confused with each other, namely, what one is and what one does. What one is essentially and what one does in the outside world. They are very different. I know what I am, and what others think or say or whatever happens in the world, that truth remains unaffected, unaltered, a fact. It is real to itself, and the world's denial or affirmation does not increase or diminish that reality. But being what I am, what I do actually is altogether a different question. That will depend upon the conditions and circumstances in which things are and in and through which I am to work. I know the truth I bring, but how much of it finds expression in the world depends upon the world itself. What I bring, the world must have the capacity and the will to accept. Otherwise, even if I bring with me the highest and the most imperative truth, it will be absolutely as it were non-existent for a consciousness that does not recognize or receive it. The being with that consciousness will not profit a jot by it. You will say, if the truth I bring is supreme and omnipotent, why does it not compel the world to accept it? Why can it not break the world's resistance, force man to accept the good it refuses? But that is not the way in which the world was created, nor the manner in which it moves and develops. The origin of creation is freedom. It is a free choice in the consciousness that has projected itself as the objective world. This freedom is the very character of its fundamental nature. Creation means a play of growth. It is a journey, a movement in time and space through graded steps and stages. It is a movement away from its source and a movement towards. That is the principle or plan on which it stands. In this plan, there is no compulsion on any of the elements composing the world to forswear its natural movement, to obey to a dictate from outside. Such compulsion would break the rhythm of creation, and yet there is a compulsion. It is the secret pressure of one's own nature that drives it forward through all vicissitudes back again to its original source. The grace works and incarnates in and through a body of willing and conscious collaborators. These become themselves part and parcel of the force that works. The truth I bring will manifest itself and will be embodied upon earth, for it is the earth's and world's inevitable destiny. The grace works and incarnates in and through a body of willing and conscious collaborators. These become themselves part and parcel of the force that works. The truth I bring will manifest itself and will be embodied upon earth, for it is the earth's and world's inevitable destiny. The essence is that the truth is there, active in the process of materialization. Only one should have the eye to see it and the soul to greet it. Prayer to Sri Aurobindo. To thee who has been the material envelope of our Master, to thee our infinite gratitude. Before thee who has done so much for us, who has worked, struggled, suffered, hoped, endured so much. Before thee who has willed all, attempted all, prepared, achieved all for us. Before thee we bow down and implore that we may never forget, even for a moment, all we owe to thee. Chapter 15 the supreme truth consciousness from life divine. Time is for the mind a mobile extension measured out by the succession of the past, present, and future, in which mind places itself at a certain standpoint whence it looks before and after. Space is a stable extension measured out by divisibility of substance. At a certain point in that divisible extension, mind places itself and regards the disposition of substance around it. Movement of event and the disposition of substance, and realize the pure movement of conscious force which constitutes space and time. These two are then merely two aspects of the universal force of consciousness which, in their intertwined interaction, comprehend the warp and woof of its action upon itself. And to a consciousness higher than mind, which should regard our past, present, and future in one view, containing and not contained in them, not situated at particular moment of time for its point of prospection. Time might well offer itself as an eternal present. Savitri by Sri Aurobindo. Page 18. The Book of Beginnings, the issue. Sixth line. A conscious frame was here, a self-born force. In this enigma of the dusk of God, this slow and strange uneasy compromise of limiting nature with a limitless soul, where all must move between an ordered chance and an uncaring blind necessity. Too high the fire spiritual dare not blaze. If once it met the intense original flame, an answering touch might shatter all measures made, and earth sink down with the weight of the infinite. A gale is this immense material world. Across each road stands armed a stone-eyed law. At every gate the huge dim sentinel space, a great tribunal of the ignorance, an inquisition of the priests of night in judgment sit on the adventurer soul, and the dual tables and the karmic norm restrain the titan in us and the god. Pain with its lash, joy with its silver bribe, got the wheels circling immobility. A bond is put on the high climbing mind, a seal on too large wide open heart. Death stays the journeying discoverer life. Thus is the throne of inconscient save, while the tardy coilings of the aeons pass and the animal browses in the sacred fence, and the gold hawk can cross the skies no more. But one stood up and lit the limitless flame, arraigned by the dark power that hate all bliss, in the dire court where life must pay for joy, sentenced by the mechanic justicer to the afflicting penalty of man's hopes. Her head she bowed not to the stark decree, bearing her helpless heart to destiny's stroke. So bows and must the mind-born will in man, obedient to the status fixed of old, admitting without appeal the nether gods. In her the superhuman cast its seed, inapt to fold its mighty wing of dream. A spirit refused to hug the common soil, or finding all life's golden meaning robbed, compound with earth, struck from the starry list, or quench with black despair the God-given light. Accustomed to the eternal and the true, her being conscious of its divine founts, asked not from mortal frailty pain's relief, patched not with failure bargain or compromise. A work she had to do, a word to speak, writing the unfinished story of her soul in thoughts and actions graved in nature's book. She accepted not to close the luminous page, cancel a commerce with eternity, or set a signature of weak assent to the brute balance of world's exchange. A force in her that toiled since earth was made, accomplishing in life the great world plan, pursuing after death immortal aims, repugned to admit frustration's barren role, forfeit the meaning of her birth in time, obey the government of the casual fact, or yield her high destiny up to passing chance. In her own self she found her high recourse. She matched with the iron law a sovereign right. Her single will opposed the cosmic rule. To stay the wheels of doom this greatness rose. At the unseen's knock upon her hidden gates, her strength made greater by the lightning's touch, awoke from slumber in a heart's recess. It bore the stroke of that which kills and saves, across the awful march no eye can see, bearing its dreadful root no will can change. She faced the engines of the universe. Her heart stood in the way of driving wheels. Its giant workings paused in front of her mind. Its stark convention met the flame of her soul. Prayer to the spirit of Aurobindo. Dear Mother, we all gathered here to be the receiver of peace, light, and joy on this day of the Mother Earth. Let us pray that to live thy love, to radiate thy love with such potency and effectiveness that all may feel fortified, regenerated, and illumined by our contact, to have power to heal life, to relieve suffering, to generate peace and calm confidence, to efface anguish and replace it by the sense of one true happiness, the happiness that is founded in Thee and never fades. O Lord, O marvelous friend, O all-powerful Master, Mother, penetrate all our being, transfigure it till Thou alone livest in us and through us. We offer our prayer at Thy feet. Our greetings and wishes for the birthday people and a very happy Mother's Day. Also, we heading towards Darshan Day with gratitude to the Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Message card. The message 24/4/1972. India shall take her true place in the world only when she will become integrally the messenger of the divine life. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Lord. We offer this prayer and this collective collaboration at your feet. Please bless each one of us. Thank you. I thank each one of you. Your presence is a real grace and a powerful coordination. Greetings from Aurobindo to each one of you to be in the light of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Thanks for your presence. Good night.